Good morning, everyone. This is Delmar Johnson with BOCI, where we are bringing everyone together. I am the owner of HR Brain for Hire, and I am so excited this morning to have our next guest to interview. Her name is Wyvonia Harris, and we're going to jump right into our interview. And just tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and tell us how you got involved with the BOCI, and we'll kind of go from there.
Well, I've said many times that Sherry is actually my transforming angel, but I changed it to mentor because I'm getting ready to do something on mentorship.
Oh, awesome.
And so I started listening to the radio. I retired July the 1st, 2011, after 43 years as a registered nurse,
Awesome.
clinical research nurse. And I retired so I could be home with my husband and to do a caregiver for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got turned on, I tell you, I actually got turned on listening to Sherry and Loretta McNary actually started me. And so I called Sherry, I mean, I will talk anywhere you give me. So I called Sherry and I said, Sherry, I am a healthcare advocate. I said, and there are several things that I must do, and that's I must talk about cancer, cure, and support. And I said I'm always doing something. I'm always doing. I do all of the walks, making stride walks. And I said, and also I'm a teacher. So because I taught in nursing school, I taught a nursing school at Baptist, as well as being a case manager. And so in those 43 years, I started out. I worked 25 years as nurse manager for orthopedics. I moved then to care manager. Then I moved to education and research. And my last job, 12 years, I spent as clinical research at Baptist Hospital, working in oncology and actually enrolling patients. And so I would call Sherry and she said, oh, I've got a few minutes, and I would tell her all of these things. So she just really, without her even realizing, she had me as her mentee, and she didn't even know it. So you talk about virtual mentor. She has been that. So that's where I was.
So basically, Sherry had you at hello.
She had me.
Okay, she had you at hello.
And she said, why? You can tell them about what you do. And so from that time on, so I started, I mean, every time she'd be on the radio, my husband said, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting at this computer because I've got to hear Sherry. So I listened, and it was, the amazing thing is that there was not any show that I did not learn something. Yes. And I talk about a lifetime learner. I love learning, and so it was just the thing for me.
Well, that is awesome, because 43 years, that deserves a round of applause. 43 years in the healthcare industry and educating nurses that were, coming behind you and everything. So you definitely have paved a path for them and other people in healthcare, so that's wonderful. And I see on your card that you are called a grief journey facilitator. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, because I am, not only am I a nurse of 43 years, I am an ordained minister of 12 years, maybe more than that now, 12 years. And so one of the things that my responsibility is that I am the health awareness minister at my church, and I'm also the chaplain of my Sunday school. But one of the things that I was always, even when I was nursing, I was always gravitating towards people that needed me because of grief. Sure. So I became a grief journey facilitator by just being there. And it got to where they said, well, she's in seminary, and I stayed in seminary 7 years because I went to school at night while I was working. So they'd say, she's in seminary, get her to go and talk to the family or whatever. So it started, and I began to, they'd call me, and when there was an emergency, or if someone, even if someone died, they'd call. Even I was a clinical research nurse, but they'd call me and ask me to come in and talk to the family, stay with the family. And so I because I was in school and already learning the ministry of presence, it became very easy for me. So what I did was, in Memphis there is a group called the Mid-South Comfort Care Coalition. This is a grassroots group that we go around the city and talk to people about end-of-life situations and solutions, is the way I like to put it. And then I became a grief facilitator, and then in 2009, my 23-year-old niece was found dead in New Mexico. And so, because my family we were just devastated because she was 7 months pregnant, and so we lost both her and the baby. And the family lived in Maryland, so while I was there, I said, well, I tell you what, I said, you know, I do grief seminars. I said, why don't we write a book? And so what I did was I compiled 70 letters from families and friends talking to Masita. We did pictures, and we started out with, I thought I was going to have 23 pages because that was her age. And by the time we finished, and when my publisher got through with it, she said, you're going to owe a lot more money, because we ended up with about 70 pages.
So let's kind of look at what you're talking about in this Mercedes Touch, Grace for the Grief by Dr. Wyvonia Woods Harris. And this is the book that she's talking about, and I actually got a chance to look at it before we went live, and beautiful pictures, and just seemed like a beautiful spirit just looking at a picture and everything. So that was something I'm sure was difficult for the family to go through, but through this may have been a form of healing for your family.
As a matter of fact, I even got my mission out of this, and I'm just going to share this quickly.
Please do.
This is a letter that one of her 21-year-old friends wrote for her. She said, I learned a lot from Sita. I learned that life is too short to stay mad at someone, because you never know when it's their time to go. When you have an opportunity to do something that you know you will never get a chance to do again, go for it. Live life to the fullest. Don't sell yourself short and be a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Be happy with what's going on in your life, because it could be worse. Never be afraid of your unique ways because someone else needs that. Make something good out of the worst situation. Last but not least, love hard. And so
awesome.
I just took that and made my mission out of it. So it's when I talk about being a healthcare consultant, this is what I do. And on the back of my card it says that I'm a listener and a looker, as joy reflected. The name of my company is, and that was another thing. Sherry said, I don't like that name. The name of my company is Wise Joyful Company. And
awesome.
And what it means is that I try to surround myself with people. If they are not joyful, they need me to be joyful to them.
Awesome. That is awesome. Well, you've done quite a bit of things, haven't you? And that's awesome. And it seemed like what you've done not only in your professional career as a healthcare professional, but also just in your ministry, and just you being an individual have poured into people quite a bit. And I'm sure a lot of people that walk away from you are taking some great things that you've deposited in them. That is awesome. That is awesome. And before we wrap up, I wanted to make sure that you mention the Church Health Conference that's coming up in April. So if you just give us a brief synopsis of that real quick.
Oh, I will. The great thing about this is that Sherry's done it again. Because what I'm doing is I'm doing a retreat for faith community nurses, and we are a group of nurses that are registered nurses, and then we become parish nurses to help all of the faith community. And here in Memphis, they're having the International Resource and the Church Health Center. A lot of people know about Church Health Center, but they combined, and they actually brought in the parish nurses from St. Louis and brought it into Church Health. But my plan is that we will, in this retreat, I'm going to show these nurses how business over coffee is really business and church.
Awesome. Oh, how great is that? That is awesome. That is awesome. And tell us the date of that.
It's April the 4th through the 7th. You will be helping me with the pre-conference. We will be doing a pre-conference all-day retreat for the nurses on April the 4th at Cook Convention Center. Okay. And then the conference is going to be the 4th at night through Sunday, the 7th. Ambassador Andrew Young, it will be our keynote speaker at that time. And they have got people from all over the United States to come in and help us with this.
Awesome. I'm so happy and humbled that you asked me to be a part of that. So I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to wrap up with why. Thank you so much. That was some wonderful information that you shared with us. And again, I am Delmar Johnson with BOCI, where we are bringing everyone together. We're all about collaborating, connections, exposure, and more business. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.